today, I'm going to share with you another that is more suitable for beginners. It's the aquarium planting setup process. The size of this tank is 3,520 liters. Look, I first went to find some commonly used driftwood for aquascaping. Pieces like this have a more aesthetically pleasing overall shape. And they are also the right size. A little trimming, and it can be used. I think it's better to find a piece that doesn't quite fit in shape and size. To show you how to use it, you see, I first went to saw it in half. This way, we can then place it into the tank for size. Doesn't that look about right? Next, at the junction of this wood and stone, sprinkle a bit of sawdust. Use aquarium safe superglue to connect them together. This way, we can place it inside the tank. In the future, it will not only be stable but also easy to adjust. But look, besides the front, it has no noticeable flaws. Its sides and back are all the least attractive positions of this wood. For positions like these, the handling isn't too complicated. First, put all this aquatic soil in. The aquatic soil can absorb yellow water. If there's driftwood in the tank, try to add more. For instance, if we're planting background plants, their root systems are relatively long. So, try to pile this soil all to the back. In areas with a steeper slope, you can tuck in a few small stones. That will work. It effectively prevents the soil from sliding to the front. After laying down the soil like this, wet it all down with water. This makes it easier to plant. Additionally, after adding water later, the whole tank will have clear water. This time, the structure of the wood is quite complex. So, I've selected several types of aquatic plants for it. For the foreground, I'm still using pearlweed. In a no CO2 setup, there's nothing better to keep and that will thrive more. Just break it down like this. Then plant in these forward positions. We want to achieve a lawn effect, so try to plant it in these open spaces. This way, once it grows lush later on, it will be easier for us to trim and control. This here is the Thai pepper plant. Like these cryptocorean species, they have low light requirements, so you can plant them in the middle, in the gaps between the driftwood and stones. This type of aquatic plant, it grows slowly, and it won't grow chaotically. Planting it in these gaps, not only does it look natural, but it can also provide shelter for small fish and shrimp later on. It's a very natural hiding place. For the background plants this time, I selected 3 types. Like this red-veined hygrophila. It grows relatively tall, with longer leaves. Plant this one behind the largest piece of driftwood. This water wisteria grows quite uniformly. Plant it in the middle, towards the back. This bacopa, snowflake, also grows very lush. However, the leaves are not very large. Plant it behind on the left side. This water wisteria has long roots. When disassembling, just pull it apart. This doesn't matter. It won't affect growth. Plant all these background plants in this aquarium, in the gap between the tank wall and the driftwood. You see, after planting, it looks like this. Next, use a bit of water wisteria and moss. Decorate the top of this driftwood a little. Like this type of water wisteria, it doesn't need to be planted. Use aquarium safe superglue, and just stick it directly to the driftwood. This type of aquatic plant belongs to the decorative category. You can stick it wherever you'd like. This is not an issue. Generally, if the driftwood looks nice, stick a little less. Just add some accents and that's enough. If the driftwood doesn't look good, stick a bit more, to tone down the appearance of the driftwood, to achieve a cohesive overall effect. This way, once it grows in, doesn't this create a gradient from low to high? 3 different layers. Have 3 different feelings emerge? The driftwood in this tank. Look, they are all suspended. This way, it will pair well with the Thai pepper plants later. It will create a habitat for small fish and shrimp. A natural hiding place. The spots that initially seemed unattractive. Once these background plants grow taller, it will not only look good from the front. This side will no longer be visible, although it looks quite crowded at the back. In reality, the back is where the aquatic soil is thickest. Like this, it can support these aquatic plants for stable long-term growth later on. Next, let's change its position. Let's install the light and filter for it. Be careful when adding water. Make sure to place something under it. I used to use plastic bags. Now I feel like this cotton wool is more effective. Look, just make sure to wet the aquatic soil at the beginning. We'll plant the grass later. At this point, we add water. The water is very clear. Let's change to another aquarium plant light. This lighting is quite important. Look at this rack I have. It holds these simple small tanks. Just 1 clamp light, 1 hang-and-back filter. There shouldn't be any problems with raising them. So let's add some nitrifying bacteria. First, we'll let it grow. I'll show you the results in a few days once it grows. Subscribe to watch more interesting videos. Thank you and I love you.